It's time to expand the Takeda's domain. Bruce assaults multiple castles in an effort to distract the opponent from the front lines, but unknown to him, an allied army is on their way to assist. After some time, a double war declaration from two of the strongest factions comes through. Bruce and the Takeda might be in trouble. Hello and welcome back to Shokuho and the Dreams of Legends submod, and here we go. We are actually going to war against two different factions this time. I was not really expecting them to declare war on two. I actually waited for a pretty significant amount of time because there isn't anything really to do. I mean, you know how it is. You know how it is when there's no war. We kind of stagnate a little bit, which is not exactly fun or entertaining or anything like that. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. And well, as you can quite clearly tell, well, it took quite a while. Yeah, it took quite some time actually. Anyway, we are going to be building a battering ram very, very soon here for the siege at Okamoto Castle. This is obviously going to be our first port of call in this area. It's actually kind of far away from the majority of our fiefs, so we are going to have some slight issues, in my opinion at least, being able to kind of affect things in this area, and that's the reason why I'm kind of going to the furthest possible fief, because this is the furthest possible fief away from the enemy's forces. Because what we want to try to do, or at least what I'm trying to do here, is I'm trying to create a situation where the vassals will come over to me, right? Because what we want to try to do is buy some time for Mr. Morinobu over there to do some wonderful, wonderful things, right? So what we want to try to do is we want to try to get him as much time as possible. So that's the reason why I am over here, because this is so far away, right? You know, so generally, if we can make this happen... Oh, no, he's actually coming this way. Are you serious, sir? Oh, dearie me. Okay, that's kind of... it's not what I intended for him to do, but I guess if he wants to come over here and he wants to help us out or something like that, then who am I to say no? But in the grand scheme of things, I would have preferred him to just go and do something a little bit more independently, because if he does, we're going to just, you know, take out two birds with one stone, basically. You know, where I'm basically a distraction here, trying to draw all of the enemy's vassals. Oh, never mind, he actually went into a battle against them, apparently, and he managed to take them all prisoner. Yes, this is fantastic. Okay, this is great. This is exactly what we wanted, so look at that. So basically, what has now happened is the enemy has lost a significant amount of their fighting forces, which means that they're going to have a much harder time of dealing with us in this situation here. And so we're going to be great. We're going to have a wonderful, wonderful time. And indeed, we are just going to let our braziers stay out there for the moment, and then we are just going to charge in. I'm going to wait until, like, there's, I don't know, 50 or so troops here. I don't really want to wait until there's none left. It's going to take a bit too long, in my opinion, for that to really be a thing. So there we go. There's about 50. All right, let's make our way in. Let me actually just see here for a real quick second. There we go. Okay, wait. We do have some people that we want to level up a little bit. Yes, there we go. Okay, that's nice. We also have, as you can see, massive amounts of prisoners ready to convert at any point, because obviously that's the deal. You know, if you do go into battle against a relatively decently strong faction, mostly talking about the Toke here, obviously talking about their culture specifically, or talking about that particular unit type. The Hatamoto units are fantastic. They're really good. So it's nice to have the opportunity to take some of them prisoner, and then we can convert them to our side, and everyone is happy. So yeah, I'm kind of pleased about how that's been going so far. And here we go. All right, so this is... Okay, yeah, this is one of my more favorite ones. I actually pretty much like this, because what I can do is, well, we can do some pretty nice damage with our bow. And we might be able to... Let me just see here. There we go, nice. We might be able to level up our bow skill a little bit more as well. As you can see, our bow skill is kind of, well, I wouldn't say it's lacking, but it's definitely not doing as well as it could. I mean, we could get, it's actually quite funny. I feel like the best course of action for us to level up our bow skill would have actually been to use it on horseback. That's probably the best, because I've seen that time and time again in past series and stuff like that. Obviously, this is a while ago, so, because bow skill isn't something that I normally go for. Like I said, that's the reason why I was so kind of pleased, really, to actually play with a bow for once, because I don't usually do that. So it's kind of fun, right? It's kind of fun to actually try it out again for this. And okay, let's just see if we can do something here. Okay, here we go. These guys have no idea what they're doing. They're apparently just letting me absolutely slaughter them. And hello there, sir. All right, let's do this. Yeah, these guys are not really doing much. Okay, yeah, they're all blocking, of course. That's okay. We don't really need to worry about that too much. As long as they are staying at an arm's length, we can just very, very easily slash at them, and they will eventually die. There we go. That is very nice indeed. Basically, what I'm trying to do here is just provide support for our forces, because they're apparently wanting and for some reason being very stubborn about going in through the battering ram's opening here. It's a bit strange. I would have expected them to use the ladders a little bit, but apparently they didn't want to for some reason. But yes, now we are going to have some potential issues here, but maybe not, actually, maybe not. They all seem to be running into me right now, which is very, very perplexing. Whenever they do this, I always feel like it's kind of weird, because the thing that they're doing right now is basically just running to their deaths. That is what is happening here, because if they literally just thought to themselves, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna go up to this guy and we're gonna swarm him, if they would swarm me in that situation, it's gonna be my death, It's definitely gonna be my death. I've had that happen multiple times in the past, where I've gone into, I don't know, archery nest or something like that, or a little bit behind enemy lines, and I've always thought to myself, okay, yeah, well, I should probably be fine here, but then they surprise me. They surprise me with the amount of damage that they can do, or the fact that they are willing to work together in such a, well, swarmish manner. And it makes a big difference. It makes a massive difference. And so as a result, that's kind of the deal, They've got the numbers, so they should use it, right? They should use those numbers to great effect. But unfortunately, the AI doesn't seem to really want to do that often. I mean, you can see here right now, these guys, if they would swarm me, I'd be able to run away pretty easily, because it is such a wide open space at the moment. But just think about if it wasn't. If we were in the fief, it would be a lot easier for them to just swarm us, and we'd probably be dead. That would be the way to go there for them. But yeah, they don't seem to want to do that for some reason. I wouldn't mind leveling up my polearms in this episode. Hopefully we can get some field battles. That's also kind of the reason why I went in for the siege, because apart from the fact that we are basically a distraction here, or at least I was hopeful that we'd be able to be some kind of useful distraction for our forces. Like I said, I'd like to have them be a little bit effective at capturing things as well, because they have an army, they're kind of close by, so I thought, yes, they'll come over and they'll see what they can do about helping us, and or, doing their own independent thing. So I was kind of hopeful, but they decided not to do that. They were going in for a field battle, which obviously is great in itself. That's very nice. They did manage to capture quite a few people, as far as I can tell. So that's wonderful, right? That's great. But then, yeah, we've got to obviously think about the fact that we are not going to get a field battle. Yes, it's very sad. I mean, I personally would very much like doing a field battle. I very much enjoy using the polearm. And as I said, maybe it's going to be a cool idea for us to go for some bow kills, go for some bow kills on horseback, because every single time I've done that in the past, it's been very, very lucrative for skill experience. Obviously, I've got to be, well, let's just say I've got to be taking shots that are really kind of unlikely to hit, because the higher the difficulty, of course, the higher the skill experience you're going to get. And anyway, I believe that is indeed a victory for us right there. Actually, pretty nice. We only lost 4 people, if you can believe it. I mean, we did starve out the garrison partially, so I guess that is kind of to be expected, but still, very nice. There we go. 211. 211 medicine skill. Not too bad, not too bad. I guess I will take a couple of people here, and I'm not really a big fan of taking too many prisoners, even though I am running around with 71. That is, it's kind of a, well, yeah, kind of a contradiction there, I suppose, but yes, I'm going to decline this. I'm not going to take it for myself, thank you. Oh yes, and one thing to bear in mind, I have actually equipped our companions with better gear. I know some people said that I should give better bracers or something like that, so yeah, I basically just went through you know, some of the nearby marketplaces and just took a look there, and I did find them some stuff, so that's pretty nice, and hopefully that's going to prevent them from dying too easily. Ah, now look at what we have here. We actually leveled up. It's, well, it's pretty hard for us to level up now. We're, well, just at the beginning of level 33, and it is going to be quite difficult to get any more focus points. I mean, it's not going to be difficult. It's more just going to take a long time, so obviously that's a problem. But what we can do is we can either go for engineering, which I think is probably going to be the play here, or we could go for more bow skill. Now, like I said already, I'm not entirely sure if it's even worth me doing this a huge amount, because at the moment we're able to kill enemies in, well, mostly one hit if we get a headshot. It's pretty easy to get headshots, especially when you're in a siege. Not so much when you're in a field battle, of course, you know, dependent on various factors, but the fact is, I'm not sure if any of these perks are really going to super dramatically make us better, right? Like, yeah, sure, Ranger Swiftness might be kind of cool. Equipped bows don't slow us down. That might be kind of fun. But that would require me to get to 250. Whereas Engineering, I'm not entirely sure, once again, whether that's actually going to be somewhat good. I mean, you can see here, plus 20% accuracy to fire arrows during the siege bombardment. Might be kind of cool. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these various perk trees, the only thing I'm really looking forward to or want to use here is literally just getting faster build speed with engineering, and that seems to be pretty much it. I could go for leadership as well, but I've already taken a look at the perks here, and most of them are not actually going to be that useful, with the exception of lead by example. Lead by example would be amazing, but I think I'm just going to go for engineering here. I mean, I am basically the engineer, so might as well. I could go for steward as well, but I think we're still leveling steward relatively decently as it is, and the perks are okay. They're not like super amazing or anything like that. Especially the 275. I mean, this doesn't really do much. I mean, yeah, this is going to be fantastic for wage reduction, but that's pretty much it. You know, the other things are not really that necessary. But anyway, as you can see, we've actually been joined by one of our friendly armies, and the funny thing is, you remember how many casualties we took in the previous siege, right? Yeah, it's going to be a stark difference. We're going to see exactly why sometimes it is a huge detriment to have the AI, the friendly AI, with you in a field battle or a siege or any kind of combat encounter, because they actually end up getting themselves killed extremely easily, and it makes things, well, pretty difficult, because if, and, whoa, okay, someone's shooting the gate with an Ozutsu, as far as I'm aware. That is actually pretty crazy. If they continue doing that, the gate will be destroyed before the battering ram even gets there. But anyway, the point is, the more that we have allies in the battle, the more chance we have of massive morale problems. Because what they end up doing, or most of the time, I'm not sure if it's really going to be the case right now, but most of the time they end up just being completely and utterly destroyed, and their morale, the morale deficit or penalty that they give us as a result of them dying, obviously causes us some pretty negative effects. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to be a little bit careful with that. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to be using my Yari here, and the main reason why I'm doing that is because I think it's hilariously fun to have penetration values with this weapon. And I'm talking about being able to penetrate multiple enemies with one thrust. I mean, really, how can we say no? How can we say no to that? And as you can see, it's actually not even bad. It's not even super ineffective or anything like that. I mean, look at how much damage I can do right here. I can do some pretty decent damage, and we can also, obviously, as I said, penetrate multiple people. Unfortunately, this guy shot me in the face, so that does kind of put paid to that a little bit. Because that most likely wouldn't have happened if I was using my Nodachi, but yeah, you know, it happens. Now, I can actually go through here, and we can literally just pinpoint accurate murder these guys. Unfortunately, this fellow is indeed blocking a little bit here as well, so not really going to help me that much. But if we do actually end up going for head thrusts, head thrusts, it sounds like an exercise, doesn't it? Yes, well, it is an exercise in destruction for the opponent, at least, because we are obviously murdering them quite nicely here. But yeah, you can see that obviously if we're not able to get a head thrust, I was going to say a head slash, but if we're not able to get a head thrust, then it's unlikely we're going to be able to kill enemies in one hit, which of course is a pretty bad thing. You need to make sure that you kill stuff in one hit, otherwise you're going to be having some big issues with the enemy being able to consistently murder everything. But look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. Being able to do some damage, so much damage that we're able to just do big damage like this, like that, right there, like that. And that's super cool, because most of the time, I don't know whether, I'm not sure if this is like a thing that is like common or whatever, but most of the time it feels like the AI doesn't really block overheads. They don't really block overheads that much. And so when I'm using my Nodachi and I'm using, you know, horizontal slashes and so on and so forth, it's very easy for the opponent to block that. But when I'm using my overhead attack right here, they usually don't do that. Maybe they do, I don't know, but I haven't seen it that often. And, well, I've got 38 kills so far with literally just using the Yari. And I think that's kind of fun. I feel like that's kind of fun. And we can also obviously go for the head thrusts as well. I mean, you can see how much damage we were able to do with that. And in general, most of the time, if you are accurate enough, you can kill most enemies very easily. Unfortunately, the gate is going to be a different story. Oh yeah, it's going to be a very different story. Oh, nice. There we go. I'm actually going to just use overheads right here. I'm just going to use overheads right here because I want to see how often we can actually get kills with that. Because as you can see, it does seem pretty, I don't know, it seems pretty good, pretty reliable. They are starting to block overheads now. So yeah, that's unfortunate. And in general, wow, okay, that's a lot of enemies. What is going on here? What is this? Look at this. Wow. Okay, how many people do they even have here? This is insane. Whoa, okay, we actually got... Did we get shot right there? Was that a shot? No, we actually got hit by a Yari by the looks of things. Okay, so the question is, what is one of my vassals, or shall we say one of my fellow vassals, doing over here? Oh, I see. He's going back to rejoin the group, I guess? Not entirely sure. Yes. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to let the game run very quickly. Okay, wow, look at that. Our forces are being eliminated, and this is exactly what I was talking about before. Just think about how many forces we lost beforehand in comparison to this time. Right? Look at that. We lost 200 people in comparison to when it was just ours, right? It was just our army. We lost about 30 or 40 or something like that. Now it's almost 200. So I feel like that really does highlight massively how much of a difference it makes to just have your own forces that are obviously highly trained, very powerful units most of the time, versus having a friendly army and all their people, because they're most likely going to have a bunch of, well, random quality. You know, they're going to have random quality people, and as a result, that's exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get these kinds of things happening. So it's pretty harsh. Anyway, we managed to take it, and we are going to be going... We're just going to be going on a tear right here. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to continue going. I'm going to be going over to... do they have any... they do have a town. They do have a town, but it's very far away. And I was kind of hoping, you know what? Let's actually... Should I skip? The question is, if I skip, is that going to mean that our allies will also skip? Because if they skip the castles, that's obviously going to make things a little bit awkward for us afterwards. So I'm kind of not wanting to do that. But the thing is, they're probably going to follow us no matter what, right? They're probably going to follow us, and they're probably going to be like, oh, yes, we need to, you know, we need to stick together and all that stuff. And, oh, hello. Oh, I would actually like to do a field battle, please. Yes, yes, yes. I would like to do that. Thank you very much. How am I doing in terms of my HP? 46%. That's not particularly good. I would have preferred to have waited a little bit of extra time there. I might have been a little bit overeager. Yes. Just a little bit overeager there, especially considering, as you can see, my companions are not actually in the battle. Yeah. They're not actually in the battle, so they're not going to be providing us with their perks. Yeah, that might be a little bit problematic. Okay, well, whatever the case, let's put them into a loose formation. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell the horse archers to charge in here, and we're going to be letting our cavalry stay behind just a little bit. The horse archers will go over there, hopefully soften up the opponent somewhat. And yeah, as you can see, they're already doing some nice damage. Now let's see what happens here, because obviously I've got my archers kind of ready. Yeah, as you can see, we're getting some pretty nice damage from them, or at least I think I have no idea. Yeah, I think so. I think the archers are going to be pretty good. Don't die now. I'm not gonna die in the first 2 seconds of the fight, am I? Oh, that would be pretty embarrassing, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be pretty bad. Nice. Yeah, we got to be a little bit careful here. We got to know that these guys are actually enemies. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a harsh one. I feel like this is a bit of a harsh one because the amount of trees. Ooh, yes, I need to eliminate this guy. Nice, we got him. That was a perfect thrust right there. That's exactly what we wanted. Unfortunately, this guy managed to survive by the skin of his teeth. That is, well, that's just going to happen, isn't it? Yeah, that's just going to happen, especially considering they have a load of these elite cavalry. Oh, it's kind of unusual, you know? It's kind of unusual to see so many cavalry units from an opponent. But that doesn't seem to really be doing much for them, unfortunately. As you can quite clearly tell, they are, well, suffering massive casualties, and they're very, very unlikely to really come back from this. I mean, I'm just going to speed things up a little bit here. I have to be a bit careful as well, because you never know. Might get absolutely murdered at some point. But yeah, you can see here, look at this. We've ended up losing about 50 or so troops, and the enemy has lost, well, 250. So the ratio is very much in our favor. Let's actually just tell our forces to completely charge in now. I have no idea where they all are, but yes, it seems like they're all the way over here. Let's see if we can maybe do some damage to their archers. Yeah, nice. There we go. Yep, make sure that those guys are taking as much damage as possible. Let's see where the enemy archers are. Okay, the question is, do they have gunners? And I think as soon as I ask that question, I'm probably going to get shot in the face by one of them. So probably not the best idea to go after these guys, to be honest. But I guess, what else can I do, right? What else can I do? I guess I could go after the infantry, but I don't really want to do that either, because they're going to have a bunch of pole arms ready for me. So that would be not so pleasant. Yes. No, it seems like we're actually fine. I mean, you can see here we've got about 40 or so archers remaining, and I believe that should be, yep, that does seem to be about the case. That should be the final remaining forces for the enemy in total. And there it is. Yeah, the rest of them are actually running away. Okay, we got 85 influence, actually kind of crazy. 71 renown as well. I wonder how close we are to the next clan tier, actually, because I have no idea. Alright, so cursed be this day. I'm going to take him prisoner. Cursed be this day, going to take him prisoner, and we're going to let this guy go. There we go. And we're going to be executing those other guys, because I actually didn't do that beforehand. If you recall, I actually said, oh yes, I'm going to take these prisoner so that I can execute them. And then I actually didn't end up doing that. So, yeah, I completely forgot. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so, wait a minute. Hello. Oh, yes, we can actually give this to someone. Our wife. Yes, our wife could probably use that. Nice shield for her as well. Why not? That sounds pretty good. Okay, yeah. So we should be fine here. Just going to take the rest. Thank you. And what we're going to do Yeah. Okay. We're gonna just do a little bit of this. And then we'll see what we can do here. I think we'll get some more Axe Samurai, and I'm very much looking forward to using those in the siege, of course. 346, alright, 346 at Toke Castle, and we'll see if we can maybe do something here. We got 10 days worth of food. The question is it worth me starving them out? 10 days is a long time in the grand scheme of things here. I'm just going to let them just choose whoever they want to choose. We're currently maxed out pretty much with every single vassal as far as I can tell right now. Let's take a look at our clan tier. Oh, look at that. We're almost there. Look at that. We only have 130 remaining. That is very much what I'm looking forward to. I can't wait. Alright, so it's time for us to get into the battle once again in this siege. Now, I am actually going to use my horse. I know. What is going on with this? I've never ever thought to myself, yes, let's use my horse in this siege. I've never ever thought to myself, yeah, let's do that, which is kind of weird. I don't know why I wouldn't do that, right? Because it gives you a bunch of mobility, it gives you a bunch of extra speed bonus and stuff like that, and generally, as you can see, it doesn't seem that bad. It seems pretty cool because obviously you're not really immobile. You can pretty much just kill and walk around wherever you want, with very minimal chance for the opponent to really do something against you, if you are obviously being careful and making sure that you get away in time, because you can still take some damage. But it's pretty cool. I like that. I don't know why I've never done this before. I think I did it maybe one time. But yeah, you can see here, look at this. Look at that damage. Look at that damage. I could have done even more if I was prepared for that, but I didn't even realize that they were going to be coming down there in such a massive group. But yes, there you go. Not too bad, in my opinion. Not too bad. And indeed, we can hopefully, maybe, get to 275 in polearms. It would be pretty nice if we could do that. And, well, unfortunately for me, it does seem as though the gates are going to be coming down, or at the very least, they're going to be closing, as my, well, my polearm is not going to be that good against the gates. So I'm just going to wait until my forces have destroyed it, which they will do. There we go. Nice and easy. And now, what I could do, theoretically, yeah, unfortunately for me, this is a bit more theoretically than anything else. Oh, they're actually running away. What? They're actually running away from the gates. They had this locked down, but now all of a sudden they're like, no, okay. Okay, that's kind of weird. But yeah, we can technically do some pretty nice damage here. But the question is it more effective than the Nodachi? I'm assuming no. No, I'm assuming no. It's just... I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, look at this. I'm not going to get... I don't think I'm going to get killed like this. Not unless they decide that they want to start, you know, personally focusing me down or whatever. But yeah, it seems pretty fun so far. I mean, I don't seem like I'm going to be taking too much damage here. And most of the time, enemies are just taking damage. There's nothing that they can really do about this, because obviously the Yari has the ability to crush through blocks, and that's the main thing that the Nondachi does not have, which was the main reason why I was kind of deciding on, you know, trying it out a little bit, you know, actually using it a bit more. And that's why I was thinking to myself, yeah, let's try it out in that, you know, in that siege. And I was on my feet and, you know, not on a horse. And I thought, yeah, maybe it's cool, you know, maybe it's cool. But then, well, obviously, it turned out that it was okay, you know, it wasn't super, super bad. But obviously, it could be better. Am I going to get shot by this guy? No. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to die here now, just so you know, because I'm obviously not walking around really, really quickly on my horse here. But let me actually just... Yeah, there we go. Okay, actually, not bad. Oh, I'm still alive. Okay, I thought that we'd be dead now, but I kind of didn't want to die just in case the morale loss would have caused our people to run away. That would have been pretty terrible. I mean, you can see here we ended up, again, losing about 200 people. And that seems to be the average for anyone that is kind of like helping you, you know what I mean? It feels like if you have an allied army that is around 500, 600 strong, you're most likely going to be losing about 200. It seems like that at least. Anyway, we are going to just auto-resolve that. Thank you very much. And, oh yeah, I should probably take a look at our promotions. Shouldn't I? Yeah, I should probably do that. Let me just take a couple more people here. Let's just take this guy. There we go. And yeah, let's take a look at our promotions. See if we have anyone that can actually join us that would be exceptional to add to our roster. Because we haven't really done that in this playthrough, hilariously enough, just because we really haven't had any good candidates, any really, really good candidates. And I think we're probably still going to not have any. Is it possible that Hatamoto units are not allowed to be promoted? Is that true? Because, I mean, you can see here, every single other kind of unit, of troop is leveling up, and for some reason the veteran Hatamoto units are not. This is a bit strange. I mean, we've had a regular Hatamoto unit, but that's it. This is the question. These guys are not, in my opinion, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it for me to get these guys. Look at this. This guy is not bad. Don't get me wrong. He's got good stats, right? He's got good stats, and he could potentially level up into something that's pretty good. I mean, look, he's got 170 in two-handed, right? So generally, I think he's going to be kind of fun, right? I think it's going to be kind of cool. But I just think to myself, we've got a limit, right? We've got a limit to how many companions we can have. Let me actually just see how many. Oh, never mind. I'm actually maxed out. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, that put paid to that, didn't it? I had no idea that I was maxed out that easily, but yeah, there you go. So, unfortunately for us, we won't be able to really promote anyone in quite some time. I mean, we are going to, of course, be advancing in our clan tier relatively soon. I mean, that siege would have given me probably about 70 to 80 renown, right? So, all I really need to do is one more. Yeah, as you can see, I think it gave me about 70. So I just need 60 remaining, and then we should be completely fine. The question is, do I want to go into Edo here? I don't think so. The question is, the war exhaustion is going to kick in as well. So the question is, do we want to go and continue taking these castles, or do we want to strike at the very heart of our opponent? I think we'll go for it, shall we? I think we'll go for it, just because we kind of need to, in my opinion. I feel like we kind of need to, because if we don't, we're never going to be able to, and it's going to be, well, it's going to be peacetime, yes. We're going to get a whole bunch of peace. But the very cool thing is that we did expand our territory quite dramatically, and indeed reduce theirs as well. So it is going to affect the way that they're able to field troops and things like that for their armies. Let's go in here. 647. We've got 18. Oh, yeah. 18 days worth of food. That's pretty terrible. But let's actually see. Is he coming over here to help me out? He is traveling to somewhere, but doesn't seem like he's traveling over here. All right. Well, that's okay. There's 290 in the garrison here. Let's take a look what they have. Basically just Ashigara units. Ooh, alright, okay, we've got a bit of a problem here. Yeah, we got a bit of a problem. So there is a double war declaration that has just happened. And this war declaration is literally from two of the strongest factions. Oh dear. Yeah, two of the strongest factions against us right here. So, as you see, we got the Hojo clan and we got the Mori, obviously, as you might expect. I was kind of thinking that they would do that kind of soon, you know. It's definitely something that they would go for. Unfortunately, I am very far away from this, so what we're going to have to do is... I can't wait the 12 days, can I? Nope. I can't wait the 12 days. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go for it. We are literally going to have to go for it, and that's going to be a bit of a troublesome spot, in my opinion. I don't really want to do that, if I'm honest. I would very much, yep, this is a problem. I would like to wait, because you can see here, look at how we're outnumbered massively here, right? This is a big undertaking for us. I'm just going to recruit as many as I can get my hands on, basically. And we are then going to go in just a moment. I just need to get this Azutsu up and running. And here we go. All right. Let's go. This is not great, by the way. This is definitely not something that I would call ideal. But it is definitely going to be necessary. It's going to be, it's going to have to do because, oh, it's actually not a bad layout. Okay, I'm kind of happy that it's not that layout, you know, the one that I'm talking about. Yes, I'm hopeful that we're not going to have to do a relatively hard siege in that regard, because this one is pretty easy. Unfortunately, the battering ram might get destroyed because, yeah, as you can see, it has taken some pretty hefty damage so far. Okay, we're gonna have to go around here. Yeah, this is a problem, isn't it? Yep, this is a pretty big issue. Gonna just wait here for a little bit of time. Bear in mind that we cannot lose people, right? If I have 197, so we need to keep that in our mind, okay? Keep that number in our minds here, because ideally, we don't want to lose even half of them, right? Oh wow, this is bad. Oh dear. That is actually a possible strategy that we could use. It just kind of dawned on me that maybe what we could do is literally just hold position. We could just hold position with our forces down in the courtyard here and just force the opponent into coming out to us. Because what they want to try to do is obviously they want to try to hold their tactical positions wherever they may be in the fief itself. And that could, in all intents and purposes, actually lead to many more of them dying. I am going to die soon, which is not going to be super great. How many have we killed so far? 188. Well, actually 326, but we've killed 188 ourselves, which is pretty nice, I would say. That's not too bad. I don't really want to go up here by myself. I'm actually just going to... I don't know what my forces are doing. I don't know why they're coming back here. You know what? I'm actually going to tell them all to come back here. We're going to tell them to all come back here, and we are literally going to just hold position. I am getting shot though, which means that I am going to die sometime soon. It would be really cool if I had some kind of bandage or whatever that I could use to heal myself by a small margin. Obviously, there is a mod, I believe, that actually does that. Might try it out. I don't know. I might try it out because it's kind of fun, right? I feel like that might be kind of fun to see if we could heal ourselves just a small amount. Let me see what I can do here. Okay, I'm just going to tell my forces to charge again. It seems like they're not actually doing anything in regards to listening to me right now. So let's just go back here. I'm going to get shot very easily. I'm going to go for the... okay, I was going to say, I'm going to go for the 200. Now, we almost made it. I got 196. I guess that's okay. I think we should have this in the bag. I actually don't know about that. As you can see, we're suffering a lot of casualties. Just purely because of the way that the siege is designed is very clever, because obviously it's very, very hard for us to really make anything work here. I might have to actually retreat. I think we're probably going to end up retreating here. Yeah, we're going to have to retreat. I cannot stay in for much longer, otherwise we will be captured and defeated. So, yeah, as you can see, 78 versus 201. If only I had managed to live just a little bit longer, right? Just a little bit longer. But that's the thing. It's very difficult to live when you're just getting absolutely peppered and your forces are, well, not really helping you that much. I don't know. I'm not sure why they were like that, but there's the war exhaustion. Yep, there's the war exhaustion coming in. Unfortunately for me, I was very much hoping that we'd be able to hopefully take this, but yeah, that's just what happens, obviously. We did manage to kill a significant amount of them, so obviously they... You know, the war exhaustion and so on and so forth coming in from that really made a big difference. But, yeah. Oh, well, never mind. Who's this guy? He's just some random... Okay, yeah, we don't really need to worry about him. Okay, so this is what's currently happening now. So, obviously, the Mori are all the way over there, right next to Okoyama, which is obviously our town. And then we have the Hojo clan, who are indeed the rulers of Edo at the moment. So, it would be pretty fun if we could maybe take that. But that's going to be extremely difficult, as we know. Yeah, very difficult. Funnily enough, if I had won that particular siege, I would have actually gotten to Clan Tier 5, which would have been amazing. But, yeah, unfortunate that that did not happen. Let's go to the policies real quick. Noble retinues, we're going to be getting that. There we go. We're going to just get noble retinues straight up because, as you can see right here, Tier 5 plus clans lose 1 influence, but gain 40 party size. How can we say no? It's just amazing. That is exactly what we want. Also, this is fantastic too. I'm going to abstain from this because there's no point in me doing this. This is literally amazing. I mean, how can we say no to that either? And this is also really, really good. So we're just going to try to enact as many policies as we can that gains us influence. I mean, obviously, I'm currently having some problems due to corruption. So that's the reason why I am generally trying to be as aggressive as possible when it comes to, you know, attacking things and so on, you know, because we kind of need to do that. And let's have a look. This is actually pretty good right here. This is actually pretty good, I feel. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Why not? And yeah, so now we just need to kind of decide and kind of think about where we're going to go and what we're going to do, because the thing is, if I take a Hojo clan town like Utsunomiya, for example, that could be really, really good. That could be a fantastic thing to do, because then what's going to happen is they may come off the front line to return over here, and this is a massive, massive distraction for them. So it could be really, really good, or they are probably just going to go over to Toke Castle and the other castles that we took down there. That could be a thing too. Or we've got many, many more options here in the form of being able to, you know, potentially attack the Soma faction here, and we could potentially capture their castles in this area. And oh, apparently, what? How did we take this? I have no idea. But whatever the case, they have 3 castles over here as well, and they've got like what, 7 castles, and that's it. And they do seem to be attacking Yamagata at the moment. So I think what we'll do, considering we're currently losing in terms of war exhaustion against the Soma faction, we're going to actually do something about that. But not in this episode, probably in the next one. But yes, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.